Hello and welcome to the Academic and Career Advising Orientation and Makeup. Today we're going to talk about what academic advising is, how it works at Cardinal Stritch, and what some of your advising responsibilities are that you'll want to complete to get ready for the start of the semester. Just a quick reminder, a lot of you were working with your admissions counselor over the summer, and they were your main resource if you had any kind of questions. Starting now that you're actually an admitted student, your Student Success Center academic advisor is going to be your main resource and point of contact. So advising has a lot to do with making sure you're on your way towards graduation, which can seem pretty far, but it actually starts right in your first semester by making sure you understand all your requirements and you know how to use your advising tools, which we'll be discussing in a little bit. You, the student, you're responsible for tracking your degree progress, but your advisors are here to help you learn how to do that and to consult with you if you have any kind of questions or need help making a decision. So that's why you are at the top of that pyramid and your degree is right in the middle there. You'll notice that here at Stritch you're going to have two advisors unless you're a nursing student. You're going to have your SSC academic advisor, which is the advisor who will work with you on all your core requirements and who will teach you how to use all your advising tools. They're also the person to consult with about policies or procedures if you want to drop a class or declare a major, or if you're having trouble making a decision. They're here to kind of give you some information, give you some things to think on so that you're making decisions that feel good for you and which will keep you on track for graduation. Most of you will also have a major advisor. Again, if you're not a nursing student, you'll have a major advisor in your major. So if you're a business major, you'll also be working with a business advisor, or if you're a communications major, you'll also be working with a communications advisor. For the first half of the semester, it's really your Student Success Center advisor that you'll be working with most, but eventually, once you get further along into your major, you'll be meeting with that advisor to discuss more specific goals related to what you might want to do with that major when you're done. As mentioned, academic advising is a partnership between you and your academic advisors. You'll find that you'll oftentimes work as a team. Similar to how your instructors have expectations of you when you go to class, your advisors have expectations when you meet with them as well. Initiate and maintain contact with your advisor. Your advisor won't know if you're having a problem or need their assistance until you let them know. Be on time and come prepared to each appointment with questions, topics, and materials for discussion. For example, if you have questions about your course schedule, it's important to print your schedule and write down your questions ahead of time. Actively work on clarifying your academic interests, abilities, values, and career goals. Maybe you're thinking of changing your major, but you aren't certain what major is best for you. Your advisor might assign you an activity to help narrow down options, and they expect you to follow through with that activity and return to their office to reflect about any new ideas or interests you may have developed. Accept responsibility for your academic and personal decisions and how these will impact your degree or program completion. Your advisors are here to make recommendations. If you choose not to follow them and end up delaying your graduation, this is not your advisor's fault. Use your tools and resources, advisor consultations, and course catalog to help you make informed choices. During your first year of school, your advisor is here to teach you how to utilize these tools that can help you prepare for next semester, register for classes, and find answers to common questions before the need to see an advisor. Proactively ask for help when confronted with academic and career or personal concerns. Again, we won't know if you are struggling in a class, have doubts about your major, or have an issue outside of school that is preventing you from being successful. You need to seek us out and let us know you need our assistance. And finally, ask questions and let your advisor know when you don't understand items discussed. Your advisor can cover a lot of information when you meet with them. Be sure to let them know if you're confused or even nervous about any information they provide you. As part of the team framework of advising, you can expect some things from your advisor as well. They'll be available and prepared for your appointment. To help ensure they are prepared to meet with you, be sure to share as much information about what you would like to discuss or accomplish when you schedule your appointment. The more details you can provide, the better prepared they will be. Use active listening skills to guide students to make informed decisions. Depending on the situation or question, it is very rare that your advisor will tell you exactly what to do. Instead, you should expect that they will listen to your questions or concerns and provide information and additional insights to help you weigh your options and make a confident decision for yourself. Consider the individuality and diversity of each student as they work to develop the most appropriate plan for you. Students and advisors all have similarities and differences. Advisors want to recognize the uniqueness of each student they work with. You can expect that your advisor will want to know your specific academic goals and circumstances. For example, when answering whether a student should try an 18-credit semester, the answer may depend on whether that student also needs to maintain a full-time work schedule outside of class, is helping to take care of a family member, or is an athlete who will be in season. Be knowledgeable about policies and procedures to empower the student to navigate their educational path and grow in independence. And share accurate and relevant information regarding courses that will lead towards students' degree or program completion. Again, your advisor may inform you about policies or procedures relevant to your decision-making process, but won't make decisions for you. If an advisor doesn't have accurate information for you, they will wait until they can find it before answering your question. Walk-up advising appointments are available Fridays from 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. These walk-up appointments are typically reserved for matters that will take under 15 minutes, a quick question, or perhaps to get a signature on a needed form. It is important to always initiate contact with your advisor when you need assistance by scheduling appointments ahead of time. You should not expect that you'll be able to meet with your advisor the same day you have a rising concern. For example, if you are considering changing your major and want to see how it may impact your time towards graduation or your remaining financial aid, waiting to meet with an advisor until just before your registration date is a bad idea. Your advisor will most likely already be booked with students with registration concerns and may have little time to provide you the comprehensive appointment you deserve. Again, the more details you can provide when scheduling an appointment, the better prepared your advisor will be. We are now going to introduce you to some of your advising tools and provide you an example of how to use them. In this example, you will be Woofy, a psychology major. However, following this example, you will be able to take the skills and knowledge learned to access your own tools and information. At New Student Registration Day, we explain the logic of your curriculum as being able to know, be, and do. Those relate to your core guide, which you were also introduced to. You will be following the 2015-2016 core guide the next 4 years. This is your main resource for registering and tracking your core requirements. And as mentioned, know, be, do can also be broken down into skills, responsibilities, and knowledge. You will note that on your core guide you will not see any of your major courses listed. Again, these simply show you your core requirements and the classes that you can take to fulfill them. This document, your advising worksheet, will list both your major courses and your core requirements. Let's walk through this. At the very top, you'll see an advisor information box, which lists both your Student Success Center advisor and your faculty major advisor. In this instance, Woofy's Student Success Advisor is Dan Geddes, and his Psychology Advisor is Dr. Carol Hetzel. The degree information box lists what AV, or advising year you are, 2015, which again relates to why you'll be using the 2015 core guide, the type of degree you are earning, and the major. Woofy is earning a Bachelor of Arts in a Psychology major. Academic standing is how you will track your credits. All students need to earn at least 120 credits to graduate. Each class is typically 3 to 4 credits, and as you finish them successfully, you will accumulate credits towards that 120. You can also find your GPA in this box. The registration group box is an extremely important box because it will tell you when you can register for your next semester's courses. In this example, it looks like Woofy can register on 5/4/2015 at 8 a.m. You will be receiving emails the next semester detailing how to access this document when it's time to review your registration date. This box also shows you if you have any registration holds that will prevent you from registering for classes, and how to resolve them. In this example, Woofy has an advising hold, and to resolve it, he needs to contact his academic advisor. Perhaps Woofy has an advising assignment he still needs to complete, or his advisor noticed he's taking some classes that don't count towards graduation, and his advisor wants to make sure what the situation is. Placements, we reviewed at New Student Registration Day. These show you the appropriate courses you'll be enrolled in for fall. And finally, grade requirements. You'll note that underneath the psychology section, Wolfie needs to earn a minimum of a C in all of his major courses. It's important to take note of this early in the semester so that you don't have any surprises later on. Again, on the second page are Wolfie's core requirements. These topics, such as spiritual understanding, aesthetic values, physical and natural world, all relate to the core guide that we were looking at before. So for example, we know that Wolfie still needs to fulfill his physical and natural world requirement. If he was curious what classes he could take, he would refer to the core guide box, physical and natural world, to see a list of options. And again, this too is broken down into the same categories: skills, responsibilities, and knowledge. The advising worksheet is also sometimes called the course needs sheet, so take note that you may hear advisors use that term interchangeably. Inside your academic and career advising handbook, you will have instructions for how to access this document. We encourage all of you to practice getting here and accessing this. We want you to review your required grade requirements. We want you to understand why you're taking the courses you're taking. So for example, if you have an art class on your schedule and you're not sure why, you can refer to both your advising worksheet and your core guide to see that it's fulfilling a needed requirement for graduation. Just a reminder, again, AV 2015, we mentioned on Wolfie's academic advising worksheet, and the reason why you guys will use the 2015 core guide. You'll also be using the 2015 course catalog, which is loaded on your jump drive at New Student Registration Day. This has all the relevant policies and guidelines for your academic year 2015, and we highly encourage you to review that information, again, to check for required grade requirements or different policies within your major. Your course catalog can also be accessed at this web address. And again, you will want to click on Advising or Course Catalog Year 2015-2016. Course catalog also has descriptions of your courses. So for example, if Wolfie saw PS 405, History and Systems of Psychology, on his advising worksheet, he might not necessarily know what that course is all about. However, if you wanted to get more information, he could use his course catalog and look up more descriptive information as well as prerequisite information. The course catalog also includes important information on scholarships. So for example, if you're earning a scholarship and you're not sure what GPA you need to maintain, it's important that you refer to the course catalog sooner than later so that at the end of the semester you're not on probation on any of your scholarships. So in this example, perhaps Wolfie is earning the Franciscan Heritage Scholarship. He needs to maintain a minimum GPA, cumulative GPA of 3.0. Again, we want you to be prepared and look at this information ahead of time so that you don't get to the end of the semester and realize you weren't earning the needed grades for your major or that you put your scholarships at risk. If you missed orientation, you missed receiving your academic and career advising handbook, you will get this at your first advising appointment this fall. And it's important that you keep this for all 4 years and write your name on it. You do not want to lose it. It's going to have lots of important information and will actually aid you in a lot of your advising appointments as well. A few next steps for getting ready for fall. Over the summer, you should have received a survey, the College Student Inventory Survey, along with a request to complete it. When you have your first appointment with your Student Success Center advisor, you two will be discussing the results of this survey. It shows you things that you're excited about regarding college and maybe some things you're nervous about so that you and your advisor can work together to provide the best experience at Stritch possible. Following the completion of that survey, you'll be contacted to set up your first Student Success Center Advisor CSI check-in appointment. These appointments typically occur following September 21st. And again, you'll want to prepare for those with any kind of questions you've encountered since you've started class. Another resource that's important to mention is the academic calendar. This will be included inside your academic and career advising handbook and can also be found on the Stritch website. It includes important dates for the year, including midterms, long breaks, exam dates, etc. One thing we like to draw attention to is the add, drop, and withdraw date. The add drop date is the last day you can make changes to your schedule without any kind of academic record or financial penalty to it. So for example, if you're in a math class and you find that there's another section of that math class offered earlier in the morning and you would prefer a morning class, you can change your schedule up until September 9th without any kind of financial penalties or any kind of record that you changed the class on your official transcripts. Withdrawal, however, is a little bit different. This is reserved for the case that you get along in the semester and you're starting to struggle in the course and it looks like you might not pass. In consultation with your advisor, you might decide that it's better to withdraw to avoid having an F on your transcript. In this instance, you will still pay for the course and you will have a W listed on your transcript. It's important that you don't occur too many withdrawals while you're here at Stritch. So if you start to run into trouble in a class early on, be sure to reach out to your instructor and your advisor. Be sure that you have your textbooks for the semester and that you've already started to plot out your study time and academic schedule. You may also want to include any kind of work schedule as well. Page 32 of your Academic and Career Advising Handbook will include a grid such as the one above. Recall, on your schedule, MWF stands for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. TR stands for Tuesday and Thursday. Some of you in science labs may see simply a T or an R listed. That may mean that you simply have a lab only on Tuesdays or R only on Thursdays. Inside your Academic and Career Advising Handbook, there's a worksheet page on page 9 that we want you to complete before your first academic advising CSI appointment. This worksheet will guide you through the tools discussed previously to answer important questions such as the required GPA for your major and the requirements of your scholarships. While this may look like a lot, it's actually quite a simple task and should take no longer than 5 to 10 minutes. The worksheet will give you detailed instructions for how to complete this. Please complete this to the best of your ability. Any answers you're unable to find can be answered when you meet with your advisor. However, it's important and it is your responsibility to show up prepared to your appointment, and part of that preparation is the completion of this worksheet. Peer advisors will also be available to assist students in completing these worksheets at several workshops. You would have received or will receive email communication and the ability to RSVP for these ahead of time. We went through a lot to remember, including important dates. If you're nervous about missing an add drop date or a withdraw date, you may want to consider signing up to the Student Success Center Twitter feed, which will make frequent announcements regarding deadlines. Let's take a moment to review some information. For all students except nursing majors, which advisor helps with questions about your core requirements? A, your admissions counselor, B, your Student Success Center academic advisor, or C, your major advisor. The answer is B, your Student Success Center advisor. Your Student Success Center advisor is the advisor you should speak with if you have any questions regarding your core academic requirements, struggles in class, or questions about career or academic planning. When are walk-up advising hours with the Student Success Center advisors? Whenever you want them to be, Tuesdays at 3 to 5, or Fridays noon to 2. The answer is Fridays noon to 2. And remember, if you have a big question on your mind, such as when am I going to graduate, what if I add a minor, what will the consequences of that will be, it's important to schedule an appointment with us sooner than later. What is another name for the advising worksheet? A, course needs, B, course catalog, or C, go-to guide? The answer is A, course needs. Remember that the vocabulary advising worksheet and course needs are often used interchangeably. Who is responsible for making sure students' academic requirements are met for graduation? What is the average number of credits you should take each semester to graduate in 4 years? This too may depend on whether you're a double major or have additional minors or certifications. But on average, what number of credits should students take each semester to graduate in 4 years? When is the first day of classes for spring 2016? This answer can be found on the academic calendar in your Academic and Career Advising Handbook or on the Stritch website. List the 3 learning outcomes your core guide is organized into. These categories are also listed in the core section of your academic advising worksheet. The answer to number 1 is students. Students are responsible for ensuring that your degree requirements are met, but remember that your Student Success Center advisor and major advisor are here to help you learn how to do that and track your progress on your way to your diploma. 15 credits. On average, students should take 15 credits each semester to graduate in 4 years, but this may depend on your specific academic plans or goals. Tuesday, January 19th is the first day of spring classes. Skills, responsibilities, and knowledge. Know, be, do. Or do, know, be. Students can expect to see their advisor anytime, day or night, without an appointment. Your advising worksheet will tell you if you have a hold on your account and how you can resolve it. Starting next year, you will use the 2016-2017 course catalog. It is a good idea to come to your advising appointment without materials for discussion, questions, or a pen or pencil. Again, maybe a smartphone to take notes. Number 1 is false. Recall that we do have walk-up appointments on Fridays from noon to 2. However, it's important that you initiate contact with us as soon as you have a question, concern, or want to explore an academic or career goal. Your advising worksheet or course need sheet will tell you if you have a hold on your account and how to resolve it. This is why it's important practicing how to get to that sheet, because if you log into the registration system and it won't let you register for classes, the first thing you'll want to do is pull up that sheet and see what the situation is and how to resolve it. False. You will not use the 2016-2017 core catalog and core guide starting next year. You're still going to use the 2015-2016 course catalog and core guide, all 4 years or perhaps 5 years that you're here. And again, it's a bad idea to come to your appointment without a pen or a pencil, questions, or materials for discussion. The same way you wouldn't show up for class without your homework done, or wouldn't show up for class without something to take notes with. Your core guide will not tell you your major classes needed for your degree. There is a minimum GPA you must maintain to remain eligible for scholarships. Your academic advisor will be able to tell you about your interests, abilities, values, and career goals. Number 1 is true. Recall that your core guide does not list your major courses. It only lists your class options for filling core requirements, but your advising worksheet lists both your major classes and the core requirements that you can refer your core guide to for class options. There is a minimum GPA for scholarships, and again, it's important that you find that information sooner than later so that you don't have any surprises at the end of the semester. And false. Your advisor won't be able to tell you what your interests, abilities, values, or career goals are. They are here to talk with you about those and help you sort those out for yourself. In this portion, we'd like you to identify whose responsibility is what. Accepts responsibility for academic or personal decisions that may impact success or graduation. Is knowledgeable about policies and procedures. Shares accurate and relevant information. Uses tools and resources to make informed decisions and proactively ask for help when needed. Number 1 is advisee. Number 2 is an advisor. However, students can also sometimes be knowledgeable about these policies and procedures. Number 3 is advisor. However, we also expect advisees to share relevant information. Again, if you're considering doing an 18-credit semester, but you're working 40 hours a week, your advisor expects you to share that information so that they can best consult with you. Number 4, uses tools and resources to make informed decisions. That's the work of the advisee, but again, your advisor is here to teach you how to use those tools, how to access those tools, and how to make decisions around those tools. Each of these relates to either the add drop deadline or the withdraw deadline. So you don't pay for a class if you change it before the add drop deadline. November 6th is the withdraw deadline. No record of the class will show up on your account billing or transcripts before the add drop deadline. September 9th is the add drop deadline. A W will appear on your transcripts should you withdraw. You will pay for the class regardless of whether you complete it should you withdraw. And you should always talk with your academic advisor if you're concerning either an add drop or a withdraw. I would actually recommend that you speak with an advisor regarding any of these decisions.